In this video, you'll learn about adding graphics. There are several types of graphics you can place in InDesign by using the File Place command or Command or Control D, and you'll need to navigate as necessary here into your Designing with Graphics folder, and you're looking for a file ID 0501.psd as in Photoshop document. And the best practice is to use the native Photoshop documents or Adobe Illustrator.ai files, although InDesign can also place JPEG, EPS, as well as TIFF, and perhaps PDF files, and even other InDesign files, as you'll see. So we'll choose this file, and we'll just use the Replace Selected Item option here, and click the Open button, and you can see the place gun is loaded with the cover image, and we want to set this to be full bleed. So we'll aim at the top left corner, press and hold down your mouse, and drag down and to the right, and head for the red box down here, which is the bleed box. And if your mouse touches the bottom of the screen, it'll scroll a little bit. So we're looking for the width here of the bleed box. Right about there is good. And you can see the percentage, right around 100% is good. And then it places it. And we just need to tidy up the bottom here by dragging this middle handle and set that to the bleed line as well. So you can position this by using the content grabber, what some people call the donut. If you press and hold your mouse for a moment, you'll see real-time feedback. And you can set your preferences. I'll show you here under InDesign's preferences for interface, and that's under the edit menu on Windows. I like to set this for live screen drawing immediate rather than delayed. That way you're able to update the screen immediately. And the Greek vector graphics on drag, that's if you had an Adobe Illustrator file, it wouldn't try to render that as you drag it. And it's really more of a performance issue. In fact, in my mind, it perhaps belongs on the display performance panel there. So just a little tip there that will speed up your computer if you need to. You can adjust that as appropriate. So I'll say OK to that. And then the last thing we want to do to this image is to right-click it and choose the Arrange command and send it to the back. That way it's behind the type up here. So now let's look at other ways you can place images. We'll go to the Pages panel here, and let's go to the 2-3 spread by double-clicking the numbers 2-3. And you can see that we have 4 placeholder frames here. And if you select a frame, that means that when you place an image, it will land in it. So I'll choose from the File menu, the Place command again. And in this case, we want 0502. When you open that, you'll see this image lands in the box. There's a couple ways you can fit this. You could, of course, use the donut. But one of my favorite ways of fitting is to right-click and choose the Fitting Flyout. And I almost always use the proportional ones. My favorite is to fill the frame proportionally. That way it works with both the width as well as the height. And whatever hits first, that's where it scales it to. And you may be wondering up here in the control panel why the frame always shows 100%. It's because the frame doesn't get scaled, the content does. So you have to click the content grabber, and there you can see that that's been scaled to around 50%. And I'll just click away to deselect that. And let's look at another way that you can place images in a more visual way. Adobe products come with a companion product known as Adobe Bridge. And if you click this button here, you'll bounce to the Bridge. And it may take a moment to start up this product. And Bridge sees everything connected to your computer, any external hard drives and so forth. And you can see here up in the path bar, I'm currently on the desktop in the folder with these files. And I typically will make a shortcut. For example, if I go to the desktop here and I want a shortcut over here in the Favorites panel, I'll just right-click the folder and choose Add to Favorites. And then I'll sometimes put this at the top if that's my current project. That way I have one-click access to go right to where the files are. So Bridge can render thumbnails of InDesign documents as well as Photoshop documents and lots of things. And that's one of the biggest benefits. It can also filter the list. For example, you can see there are 5 InDesign documents in this folder, and we're looking for Photoshop files. So if you click that, you can see there are the 13 files. And we're looking for this image of Austin. So when we select it, notice it shows all sorts of information here in the metadata. That's the actual f-stop that was used by the photographer when he or she shot this photo. So while that image is selected, when you choose from the File menu, there's a Place command here. And you can choose Place in InDesign. And then it loads the place gun here in InDesign. And as you hover over this box, you'll see a little parenthesis, meaning it detects it. And when you click, it'll leap into it. So that's one of my favorite features, is Bridge will just place an image for you. There's also a mini bridge. So let's look at how you might use that to place these other two images here. You'll find Mini Bridge under the Window menu, under M for Mini Bridge, and it's kind of the mini-me model of this Big Brother Bridge. And it may take a moment for this app to start up too, especially if Bridge is not running. It'll prompt you to launch it. And the same thing's true here. You can choose here on your desktop. You can either double-click to go to where you want, or if you've established some favorites, you can pop this list up here and choose from your favorites, in which case you can see there's the favorite we just made. And we're looking for two images down here. And what we're looking for is, we already have Austin, so the next two are Chicago as well as Honolulu. So I'll press and hold the Shift key to extend the selection, and then drag over here, and when I let go, you'll notice the place gun's loaded with two images. And you can use your cursor keys to queue up the images you want as well. I'll just go ahead and click, and then that will put that in the box, and then click again, and that does a multi-place. And at this point, we're done with Mini Bridge. So you can click the close box, and in this video you've learned how to place graphics by using File Place, and how to use Adobe Bridge as well as the Mini Bridge.